Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Steven Universe review. In this episode, we're taking a look at Season 5, Episode 19, Now We're Only Falling Apart. And hey, we're back after one of the shortest hiatuses in the show's history. Little over a month, I think? Maybe 2 months? That's not bad at all, especially for this show. And I want to start off by saying, God, what is up with this title? Oh my God. Now we're only falling apart again. Oh my, that's a horrible, horrible title. Really. I mean, I'd get it if it was Now We're Falling Apart. And I honestly don't think it even really relates to the episode that well, in my opinion. Like, now we're only falling apart. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Ugh, nah, trash title. And the episode itself is kind of trash as well. It's got its redeeming moments, but it reminds me of another episode we just got this season that's just as flawed. Starts off with Amethyst basically giving a recap of the previous episode, right? Where, hey, now everyone knows Rose Quartz was Pink Diamond. Oh, shit. And Sapphire storms off in rage because, oh, she lied to us. And yeah, I totally get that opinion. I totally get Amethyst's opinion of like, oh, this is crazy. Especially because Amethyst wasn't there in the war. I get Ruby wanting to talk it out because, yeah, we've seen them fight before Keystone Motel, even though this is taking a completely different approach. Because this episode, right, we go over to Sapphire, we see her at Rose's Fountain, you know, that thing that they introduced in one episode, and then basically abandoned because it's too OP. Yeah, that happened. And then presumably the next episode or two is going to be about Ruby, and then they're going to rekindle their love, and then shit's going to hit the fan at some point. That's how I'm expecting this to go. But Sapphire is disappointed, right? She's upset because Rose was just using them for her war. She didn't care, right? Because this was Pink Diamond's war. She was both her enemy and her ally. And my biggest problem... So Pearl goes into this whole flashback about, oh, what Rose really stood for, right? What Pink Diamond was really trying to do. And my biggest problem right off the bat is I think Sapphire's right. Rose was just using her for her war. I know some people will see it differently, but I don't. I do. I mean, in some ways she is still trying to do good, right? She does have Earth's best interest in mind. But on the other hand, she's still a perpetuant child. I mean, based on the flashback we saw in Jungle Moon versus what we see now, she's definitely matured a little bit, but she's still naive. She's still a child. She's still way over her head. And at a later point, she's like, "Oh, they don't. Blue and Yellow didn't respect Pink Diamond." And yep, yeah, I completely agree, and I totally see why she doesn't. Nah, she doesn't deserve the respect because she's still a child. I mean, yeah, she's on the right track, but I totally get where Sapphire's coming from, and that's my first major problem with the episode. And then we go into this flashback where, oh, Pink Diamond, right? We saw in the Jungle Moon flashback, oh, she always wanted a colony. And now she has one, she realizes it's boring as hell. She can't actually do anything. She wants to go down to the kindergarten, interact with the amethysts. All she can do is view it from the moon base. And then Pearl comes up with the idea, hey, what if you disguise yourself as a rose quartz soldier? Right? Maybe that will work. And within seconds, she's on board with it. Because at this time, Pearl is like any other Pearl we've seen so far. Just trying to please her diamond, which, okay, sure. And she goes down to the kindergarten, and there's a bunch of amethysts there. Which, why are they amethysts? Wouldn't they be... What about the rose quartz cut gem? I'd assume that's what the kindergarten would start producing on the back. Because we've seen hundreds of thousands of rose quartz soldiers, and that will be all. So when do those come into play? Right? Those weren't amethysts. Those were rose quartzes. Wait, what? Is there a disconnect here, right? Am I just missing something? Shouldn't Shouldn't they be rose quartz? The only reason I can see them being amethysts is because she talks about how they're waiting for 2 more, one of which emerges, and Rose welcomes the emerging one, and, okay, that's the best scene in the episode. It's so pure, that's the first and nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Pure, I like that, that's a sweet little moment. And then the other one doesn't emerge, presumably it's our amethyst, right? The one we see that we've had with the entire show. Which, none of these other amethysts look like the ones we see the zoo, which, yeah. Okay, but it still makes sense. I still think they should be rose quartz soldiers, but whatever. Maybe the rose quartz isn't real. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm going crazy. And then Pearl says that, oh, it's probably not best to hang around here. Let's go explore the rest of Earth. And they go and explore, see all the beautiful sights of Earth, run into the people, and while running around, Rose/Pink Diamond realizes kindergarten is not where life begins, it's where life ends. So now she doesn't want to do the colony because there's so much beautiful life on Earth, so much to see. She's becoming the idealist. And we all know where this ends. But she tries to tell Blue and Yellow Diamond about it, and they're like, pfft. So, no, nothing. Blue and Yellow won't do anything because they don't respect her. And they say that she did everything she could. Doubt. But Pink Rose, God, I keep switching them up, decides that, oh, I'm going to become someone they can respect. Which, hey, at least I got something right in my theory. Rose Quartz was someone who could actually be respected, unlike Pink Diamond. God, I looked back at that theory. Literally everything in that thing is wrong. Oh my god. It's horrible. Which, hey, little prediction right off the top of my head. I've been thinking about this recently. I'm going to call it right now. So, Blue and Yellow are adults. Pink's a child. White's an old lady. I don't know if people are talking about this, but White's going to be an old lady. I'm just calling it right now. I know the entire who knows how far we're gonna see her, probably not until next year, sadly. But I'm just calling that right now. But then we have the events of The Answer, right, where Garnet was created and Pearl, and they talk about how, oh, we never knew 2 different gems could fuse, which really 5,000 years ago I doubt this was the first time this has ever happened. But really, nobody was ever talking about this. Nobody was seeing the potential in this. I get it's a taboo, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm thinking of humans, and the way I know humans, they would have tried this shit instantly. Even as, like, a taboo, the bourgeoisie would have been doing it, just because it's an experience that the bourgeoisie could do and get away with it. But, whatever. So Pearl starts talking about how she needs to be replaced because she's imagining things, right? She's doing all sorts of crazy things that her Diamond hadn't told her to do. It's basically her falling in love with Rose, which, rewatching it in the context of these episodes, I can't help but feel as if... I mean, Pearl's love is genuine, but I feel like her feelings aren't reciprocated by Rose. I mean, we've always had that feeling that, oh, because she loved Greg, no, her feelings weren't. But actually, like, seeing the flashbacks from Pearl herself, yeah, no. And it's funny because there's a lot of things I don't trust in these flashback episodes, especially after Your Mother and Mine, because this is basically Your Mother and Mine again. But Pearl did... Nah, that's the one thing that I do feel is, like, genuine, and it's tragic. But they almost fuse into Rainbow Quartz, but it doesn't happen. Instead, they run into Garnet, like what happened in The Answer. And hey, everything's good now. And Pearl says that before she was just fighting for Earth. But now that she met Garnet, she was fighting for gems. Bullshit. I don't buy it for a second. This is just Your Mother and Mine too. Remember Your Mother and Mine, where it was, oh, Rose Quartz, we got the backstory of Rose Quartz. And then like 10 episodes later, we found out it was all a lie. But because Garnet didn't know any better. This is that from Pearl's perspective. Pearl is completely wrong here, in my opinion, and it's just because she doesn't know any better. I mean, they say, oh, Rose was doing what she did because of what she believed, right? That's what Pink Diamond was doing it because she cared for the Earth. And while she did, she was still just a child. She's doing it because it's what a child would do. And she still fucked it up around every corner. I don't believe her for a second. And then there's the problem of Bismuth, who, as she said, she would have liberated all gems, but she would have also shattered the diamonds, which all of these Pink Diamond reveals really does make Bismuth more complicated. Because Bismuth was always the tragic tale of Bismuth would have killed Rose to free all of Homeworld, and Rose Quartz couldn't do that because it probably would have gotten them all killed. But now, in a different scenario, Rose Quartz is Pink Diamond, so Rose Quartz had to get rid of Bismuth because Bismuth would have shattered Pink Diamond, even though there is a workaround here somewheres, I guarantee it. No, now she had to get rid of Bismuth because she would have shattered her. And it's just bullshit, because Bismuth actually believed in what Rose Quartz is preaching. Everything Pearl says Rose Quartz stood for here, Rose Quartz didn't. Bismuth did. And there's a number of ways you can view that. Honestly, it's so, and I feel, because you know Pearl believes it, but it's not true. It really isn't. Either that or this show is just had so many unreliable narrators that I just can't believe a single word out of any character's mouth. You know, kind of like listening to devs talk at E3. Ugh, God. And then the episode ends with a letter, because unlike Keystone Motel, we're doing it from two different perspectives, because the next episode is clearly from Amethyst, Greg, and Ruby's perspective, and then it'll go places from here. We've all seen the teasers. Holy shit. Overall, I mean, there are parts of the episodes I like. I like the pure moment. But other than that, I think the episode is meh. I don't trust Pearl. I think she's an unreliable narrator, and that's not good because I feel like every character except for Amethyst is an unreliable narrator at this point. And I don't even trust Steven. I know he's trying his damnedest, but I can't trust him at this point. Even though his intent, unlike Rose, Steven's intentions definitely are pure. When Steven says something like, oh, I want to protect all gems, and right, everyone has the right to this stuff, I actually believe him. Steven does what Rose Quartz said she does. You know, the bullshit saying, do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, Steven's that. But I hope you all enjoyed. I'll be about a day behind for these reviews. That's just kind of how this works at this point. I do have some plans, though. We'll see if I can actually bring them into fruition. But we'll talk about that later in the week. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.